Good evening everyone, and welcome to Rainamo's DIY and Designs. And today we're going to be working on the flower girl basket. So if this sounds like a tutorial that would interest you, please keep on watching. Okay, so to start, what we're going to do is choose our vessel, and I chose this one, which is from the Dollar Tree. And when I first saw this, I instantly thought, okay, here's my flower girl basket. I don't have to hunt for anything else that I need to DIY. All I need to do is embellish this beautiful, deep and wide basket that will hold plenty of flowers. And I picked this up at the Dollar Tree, like I said, but it wasn't at my local Dollar Tree. It was at the one back home where my parents are. That Dollar Tree is huge, so they have so much stuff. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to use this elastic lace that you guys have seen me use in different colors. I might possibly use this pearl wrap. I have this beautiful blushy toned ribbon that I picked up at King Dollar. And also from King Dollar, they had this gorgeous light pinky blushy colored diamond wrap. So I'll be using this as well. So all I did was measure around my vessel, and I trimmed my lace right to where I actually wanted it. Now I'm not going to worry about the lace being floppy and flipping over into the basket, because I have the Stiffen Quick that I'll use to actually stiffen it up so that it stands up the way that I want. But the main thing is making sure that I have it positioned on the basket like I want. But you go ahead and you measure it out. And what I've decided to do is, to make it easier, I'm going to use the roses that we have here, because there's different roses, and I hope that you can see this. There are different roses and different sizes, so right here in the center of this rose is where I'm going to line up this portion of the basket. And I'm just going to go ahead and take the handle off just to make it a little bit easier. And with my lace laying on the right side, and I have the wrong side facing up, I'm going to lay my basket down and have it centered in that rose, because that's how much I want to actually have sticking up over the basket. I'm going to take my hot glue that's been sitting over here, and I'm going to place a little bit of hot glue, which I'm going to end up needing some more sticks. I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue on the basket, and I'm just going to lay the lace over the top, and just affix it to the basket. And you can probably use Mod Podge, but I want this lace to have more of a flowy look. I don't really want to Mod Podge it to the basket, because I want it to have a very soft look. So I'm just going to use a little bit of hot glue to affix it. And remembering that with almost everything that you get from the Dollar Tree, that it's going to have that graduated effect. So you'll have to kind of do a little bit of like pinch pleating around and putting little daubs of glue and affixing the lace. And I'm working more towards the top, and then later I'll work towards the bottom. But I really want to get everything nice and centered to where I want the flow of the lace to go on the basket for the innermost portion of the basket, because we can always work towards the bottom of the basket. And so, like I said, I'm just using the big flower, the big rose, as my guide as to where I want it to lay and how I want it to lay. Just like so. And like I said before, one of the wonderful things about this lace is that it is stretchy. So it lays just like I need it to. And now I'm just gonna do a gentle pull and overlap of the lace to the side. And I'm gonna glue this to the basket with just a little bit of glue, like a wrap dress for the basket. And then I'm gonna do the other side, I'm gonna do the same thing with the other piece of lace fabric, but I'm gonna do that towards the top, and then towards the middle, and then also towards the bottom. And now I'm just going to do little pin tuck pleats, if you will, and tuck the bottom of the lace, just in the areas where I see that I need it. And I'm just putting a little dab of glue, affixing the lace to the basket, and then picking up and pinching the pleat. And I'll put a little dab of glue here and affix that pleat, just like so. And this is how I do the pinch pleating. Like you guys noticed on my bouquet, I did pinch pleating, and this is the same thing that I did. Okay? So now you know what my secret is to pinch pleating. You affix it to the vessel, and then you just pinch your pleat and put a little bit of glue. You can also tack it with thread and needle if you want, especially if you have time, but the hot glue is just so fast. And this isn't going to be a permanent fixture. Now what I may do later is here on the bottom, I may go ahead and Mod Podge it so that it's more stiff and adheres more firmly to the basket. But for now, this is fine for what I'm working with. And so the next step that I'm going to do is go ahead and move on to embellishing and decorating the basket, which is my favorite part. So please keep watching. What I do is open this ribbon and I'm gonna affix some ribbon. I don't know why it's so difficult. I'm gonna affix ribbon to the vessel. And I just really think this is such a pretty ribbon. It's gonna go really well with her dress. So I'm just gonna measure it around the belly portion of the basket. And give it a little snip. And this is a nice satin ribbon. The King Dollar also had it in gross grain, which was really pretty too. I'll be doing another project with the gross grain pink ribbon. But for now, we're just going to use this. And I'm looking to see where my lace ends and begins, because I kind of want to keep all of my quote-unquote seams together. So it's on this side. So what I'm going to do is take a little dab of hot glue and place it in the center and affix my ribbon. and just hold. Remembering that the ribbon is actually being affixed to the lace and not to the actual basket, so keep that in mind, okay? When you do embellish, you don't want to put anything heavy. Like if you put a brooch on here, which I may do, it will be one of the smaller ones that I've gotten from Totally Dazzled. It may even be a slider. I'm gonna think about that a little bit more, because I know when she's holding the basket in her hand, the sides that people will actually see is this side, unless I have her hold the basket in kind of an awkward way in her hand, so that this side with the seam will be against her body and this side will be seen outward. But if I decided, like you see, it just fell because I haven't glued it on there and it's not tight around there. If you use a brooch, keep that in mind, that can weigh your ribbon down, so you would want to put some hot glue here. You could even tack it, like I said, with needle and thread. So I'm just making sure that I have everything nice and level, and then I'll know the placement for my hot glue. Because you want to keep everything nice and even. Okay. So here I'm just going to put a little dab of hot glue. And then here is where the hot glue will end. And just want to make sure that you have it totally secured. Just like so. Okay. So it'll be just like this, and I have this little pleat which you can stretch out just like so, where it'll be gathered, okay? And next you can add whatever little embellishments it is that you want. I am going to be using this particular diamond wrap, so I'm going to take it out of the package, and then when I come back I'll show you the next step. Okay, so what I've done is I've taken off 3 strips of the diamond wrap off of the roll, and baby girl chose this particular embellishment from Totally Dazzled that I had. So I'm gonna go ahead and start affixing the diamond wrap, and I think what I'm gonna do is actually start it in the back and work my way to the front, because we have an embellishment that will be centered to the side in the front. So I'm just going to go ahead and start affixing it in the center. So I'm just affixing. So I'm just going to find the center and just add a little bit of glue to the center of the bling wrap and center it onto the ribbon, and then add a little glue and center it on the ribbon. And I'll do all of that, and when we come back I'll show you how it looks. So here is the Stiffen Quick. I'm gonna just go ahead and start spraying these edges of the lace so that they can be working on stiffening, while I'll start working on the handle next. So I just wanted to show you guys how we use it. All you have to do is spray, and once you spray it, you let it sit for an hour, or if you're impatient you can use a heat gun or you can use a hair dryer to help dry it and speed that part along. You could also use an iron if you were working with a fabric that wasn't affixed to anything, but I'm probably going to end up using my heat gun a little bit later to speed up that process. But all you do is just spray, and you want to make sure that you saturate your lace. And get everything nice and wet that you need. To be stiff. And back around to where we first were. Making sure that everything is nicely saturated. So that's all I've done here. And now I'm just going to leave that be. I'm going to go and wash my hands, and when I come back I'll show you how we're going to decorate the handle. So I'm taking the handle, and I have this particular ribbon that I got from Hobby Lobby. It's not white, it's almost like a silvery white, and it goes really, really well with the fabric that I've used, this lace. So I'm just going to take it, and I'm going to start right here because this is going to be attached into the basket, and it's going to be covered by the lace. So right here at the beginning, because I don't want anything that would cause the handle not to affix to the basket correctly, I'm just going to put very carefully just a little string of glue, and I'm going to affix this ribbon. And then all I'm going to do is just wrap this ribbon around and around and around and cover this handle with ribbon. Just like so. Oops. Just like so. Keeping it nice and tight. So here's what the handle looks like all decorated, and all I did was wrap that ribbon that I showed you around, and then I added 2 to 3 layers, I think it was 2 though, of this particular heart-shaped pearl, and I just think it's so cute, and it gives a little bit of texture and adds to the depth. And here you can see where the lace actually stands up because it's gotten stiffened from the Stiffen Quick. That stuff's really good. If you can find it online, which I got mine off of it was either Walmart or Amazon. You need to order it. If you're a crafter, it's something that you definitely need. So I'm just gonna affix the handle to the basket, just like so. And so look how pretty that is so far. But you know me, we're not done. We are going to add beautiful flower and some greenery. So here are the flowers that baby girl picked out, the gorgeous flowers. So I'm just going to take my glue gun, and right where we have the seam, I'm going to just add a little dab of hot glue. And I'm going to fix the greenery first. And try not to make too many webs if you can. Because this is plastic with hot glue, you know you have to hold it a little bit longer because the plastic warms up. But it's still beautiful. These are really gorgeous flowers. I think I picked these up at Michael's. Really pretty flowers. And then this gorgeous rose, I'm just going to tilt to the side and just add hot glue to secure it to that ribbon. It's really all your choice, but I'm just gonna be happy with choosing one because it's such a big, beautiful rose. I'm just trying to help cool it down so it can secure faster and remove any of these little web strings that you see. So while this is cooling and securing, we'll come back and show you the final look. And so here she is, our final product, a beautiful flower girl basket for a gorgeous blush inspired wedding. I hope you guys enjoyed this particular tutorial. Please give us a thumbs up and share this video. Share all of the videos that you've watched that you feel someone would be able to use or that you thoroughly enjoyed. I'd also like to ask you to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And most importantly, remember, you will design on your own time and have a wonderful evening. Bye.